Research shows that over 70% of non-native speakers, in this case, we're obviously talking about non-native English speakers, report anxiety when speaking English. And this highlights the need for effective strategies to overcome those fears and improve communication skills. Are you part of this group? Have you ever been part of this group and you're working towards being better? If so, welcome to another Business English Success Strategies session. This lesson focuses on the importance of unlocking confidence in English speaking, particularly for non-native speakers who often face unique challenges in social and business environments. We will explore several key topics, including an introduction to confidence in speaking English, common fears and challenges faced by non-native speakers, along with some practical techniques to build confidence. Alrighty, let's get started. As part of the introduction, this section is going to look at the significance of confidence in English speaking, highlighting its essential role in enhancing communication skills for non-native speakers. The importance of confidence, let's take a look at that first. Confidence is vital for effective communication, fostering personal as well as professional relationships, and can be developed through consistent practice. So this is not something you're born with. Maybe you are, if you're one of the lucky ones, but this is something with practice will get better. So why non-native speakers struggle? Well, common challenges include fear of mistakes, natural, and fear of judgment, having a limited vocabulary, and self-doubt, which impede progress in speaking English confidently. The importance of confidence. This plays a vital role, a pivotal role in effective communication, especially for non-native speakers. It will influence your personal interactions and your professional opportunities. Research shows us that individuals who practice speaking English regularly, let me repeat, practice speaking English regularly, report a 50% increase in their confidence levels within a few weeks, enhancing their overall fluency. Another study by the British Council found that 70% of non-native speakers believe confidence is the key barrier to effective communication in business settings. So engaging in social conversations, even in low-pressure environments, can help build a confidence all across the board. Joining language exchange groups can be particularly beneficial if you do not have access to an English-speaking environment where you can practice regularly or every day, or whatever that would mean for you. It's essential to embrace mistakes as well. They are learning opportunities. Many successful speakers credit their growth to overcoming early challenges in their language journey. In other words, they embraced the mistakes. So this list highlights common challenges faced by non-native English speakers that hinder their speaking confidence. Each item reflects a significant psychological barrier that can impact communications abilities, emphasizing the need for awareness and strategies to overcome them. By addressing fear of mistakes and judgment, speakers can cultivate a more supportive environment for learning. Recognizing vocabulary limitations allows for targeted improvement strategies, while tackling self-doubt encourages more proactive engagement in speaking opportunities. So you want to handle your fear, limit your fear of mistakes, limit your fear of judgment. You have to overcome that. And we're going to speak to how you can do that in a moment. And then you want to build your vocabulary. This will help erase self-doubt. Common fears and challenges. Of course, these are going to be faced by non-native English speakers, just like it would be for anyone learning a second or third language. Right? But in this case, we're going to emphasize their impact on effective communication and strategies to overcome them. So let's think about fear of making mistakes. The fear of making mistakes causes anxiety in all of us, right? But underscores that errors are a crucial part of learning and improvement. So you have to accept the fact you're going to make a mistake. You have to accept the improvement advice or the correction, whatever form it comes in, and improve. Fear of judgment. Now we're going to focus on the concern many learners have regarding judgment from others, suggesting that prioritizing personal progress is key to overcoming fear. Right? Let me just say, the vast majority of situations that you're in, people actually want to help you speak better. Are there some jerks out there? Of course. But the vast majority of people, especially people who speak multiple languages themselves, right, understand the journey and want you to be successful. Human beings are funny things. Despite what we might think, we do like to help each other. We also will look at lack of vocabulary, explaining how limited vocabulary can obstruct communication and encourages the expansion of vocabulary, or we will encourage the expansion of vocabulary through various learning methods. Now, mistakes are a fundamental aspect of the learning process. You've heard me say this, I'm re-emphasizing it now, and they are crucial for developing language skills. Many non-native speakers feel anxious about making errors, which can hinder their willingness to communicate. This is like growing up, right? You can't become a teenager unless previously you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and you can't become an adult unless you were a teenager, right? It's part of the growth. And research shows that learners who embrace mistakes, this is critical here, tend to improve faster and retain information better. Nothing like a good mistake to help you learn quicker. A study by the British Council indicates that 75% of language learners experience fear of making mistakes, impacting their confidence. Now, successful public speakers often share their mistakes as learning moments, demonstrating that errors can lead to personal growth. Having once been a public or professional speaker, I did this, and as I was learning and being mentored by others, I actually observed what they were doing, listened to them, and saw the effect that this had, right? It helps you when you embrace mistakes as learning moments. Then, of course, creating a supportive environment where mistakes are normalized can significantly reduce anxiety and encourage open communication. So I have people in my language journey that I regularly speak to that still give me feedback, right? Even though I can speak another language, I'm still growing. Let's take a look at fear of judgment, common barrier for non-native speakers, often leading to reduced participation in conversations. Studies show that 70% of language learners experience anxiety related to speaking, which can hinder their progress. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes can alleviate the pressure. Even fluent speakers occasionally mispronounce words or use incorrect grammar. You might even have heard me in some of my lessons mispronounce something. It happens, right? And I'm a native English speaker. Creating a supportive environment, such as language exchange groups. Notice I'm re-emphasizing get with a group to practice the language, can help learners practice speaking without the fear of criticism. Cognitive behavioral therapy techniques can be effective in managing anxiety, allowing individuals to reframe negative thoughts about speaking. So, you might be asking yourself, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, what is that? That is a homework assignment. You're going to look that up so you'll understand what it is. Now, so practicing with friends or family members or in a group like a language exchange group can build confidence before engaging in more formal business settings. Limited vocabulary. This can restrict one's ability to express thoughts clearly and confidently, obviously, right? Leading to miscommunication. So building your vocabulary involves engaging with varied materials like books, podcasts, and conversations, which can enrich language skills. I'm going to add another one here. Consistency. Be consistent about learning. If that's daily for you, fine. If that's 3 times per week, fine. But be consistent. That allows you to take in the information. It trains the brain that this information is going to be taken in and processed and used. Research shows that individuals with a broader vocabulary are perceived as more competent and confident in professional settings. Let me add here, that is true of native speakers as well as non-native speakers. If you are a native speaker and you have a limited vocabulary, you're most likely going to have limited opportunities as you compete with people who have a broader vocabulary and a better ability to communicate and influence. Now, you can use vocabulary building apps such as Anki or Quizlet, and they can provide interactive ways to learn new words regularly. There are others as well, so you can look up and use the one that best fits your style from a learning perspective, but use one. Participating in language exchange programs provides real-world practice and help reinforce new vocabulary and context. So what helps me in my language journey in terms of broadening vocabulary is I have been able to find tools online, such as YouTube, that have helped me broaden dramatically my vocabulary. Of course, I'm using books and podcasts, etc. Now, techniques to build confidence. What are some of the practical techniques that can significantly enhance confidence in English speaking for non-native speakers? All right, let's just go through these. Practice with a partner. Now, that partner could be a coach, but it could also be someone else. If there's a language exchange that's not a group, you can find someone, sometimes you can find them on Facebook and other places, where you can practice with a partner. Let's say, for argument's sake, you meet for an hour, you spend half hour speaking English, and then you spend a half hour speaking whatever the language is that is native for you or that you're fluent in, helping them. So you exchange. Use of affirmations. So before anyone said poo-poos this, that's a phrase we use in English as saying this is not important, right? Affirmations provide positive affirmations serve as a powerful tool to combat self-doubt and instill a confident mindset regarding English speaking abilities or anything else. And certainly easy to find affirmations on YouTube doing a search or online doing a search using a search engine. Immersing in English speaking environments. Actively engaging with English media or English people helps expand vocabulary and improve fluency through consistent exposure to a language. So you want to surround yourself with the language you're trying to learn as much as possible. Visualization of success. Mentally rehearsing successful speaking experiences aids in reducing anxiety and prepares individuals for real-life communication scenarios. So there's an obvious example how this works. Many of you might see Athletes. This is particularly apparent during the Olympics if you're not regularly watching competitions. Many athletes, you'll see them off to the side, or somehow they're deep in thought, and their hands are moving, and they seem to be mimicking something. Well, they're visualizing their performance. Uh, and it's particularly striking, at least for me, when I watch Winter Olympics, because I watch the skiers as they move their hands, um, sort of visualizing how they're going to move across the ski slopes. Right? It works for them because they are taking in a positive reaffirmation or a positive affirmation. The same thing works in all other parts of your life. Celebrate small successes, recognizing and celebrating minor achievements, no matter how small they are, celebrate them. You've achieved something else, right? Encourages continuous progress and reinforces the development of positive speaking habits. Right? And then lastly, practice with a partner. This creates that supportive environment to enhance speaking abilities and reduce anxieties. If for some reason you don't have a regularly available partner, you can get with um, a language school that will provide a coach. Right? Cambly is an excellent one as one of them, but there are others. Regular interaction with a partner. Now, this will allow you to get immediate feedback, which is crucial for correcting pronunciation and grammatical errors. Studies once again show that language learners who practice speaking with partners experience a 30% increase in fluency over time. Incorporating varied topics during practice can help speakers become more adaptable in different conversational contexts. Engaging in role play scenarios with partners can simulate real life situations, building confidence for social and business interactions. And then lastly, affirmations. Positive statements that can help reshape your thoughts and beliefs about your abilities. Consistently repeating affirmations can diminish feelings of self-doubt and enhance your overall confidence when speaking English. Research once again shows that positive self-affirmations can improve performance under pressure. Remember, I mentioned the athletes, by reducing anxiety. Let's just give another example. Well, no, let's skip this because I shared with you about the athletes. That's actually a good example of how best to use this. Because athletes are being filmed, they're on television, being broadcast, you can see them easily. Stick with that to see how some of them may be visualizing. All right. Now, studies indicate that daily affirmation practice can lead to increased self-esteem and resilience in challenging situations. As someone who meditates and uses affirmations daily, and just for a short period of time, maybe 5, certainly no more than 10 minutes, we all have things to do, right? Uh, I will tell you from a personal perspective, it has worked wonders for me over the years. Immersing in English-speaking environments. Immersion in an English-speaking environment accelerates language learning and boosts confidence. So engage with music, with movies, and conversations that expose you as a learner to an authentic language use, cultural nuances, and varied accents. Right? We all don't speak the same, even though we may speak the same language. Research once again shows that listening to music and watching films in English can increase vocabulary retention by 20%. Participating in language exchange meetups allows for real-time practice and feedback from native speakers. Using apps like Netflix or Spotify to follow along with subtitles or lyrics enhances comprehension and pronunciation skills. Studies indicate that students who immerse themselves in English through media report a 30% increase in speaking fluency in 6 months or a little over 6 months. And then visualization of success. And now visualization is a mental technique where individuals imagine themselves succeeding in specific scenarios leading to improved performance. So as I mentioned with the affirmations, they're not the same as visualization, but I use them together. You see the athletes using them together, use them. But you can certainly use both separately as well to be successful. You can use them together and you can use them separately. And research shows that athletes and public speakers who practice visualization report higher confidence levels and lower anxiety. And this is the second or third time I've mentioned public speaking. It's because you're going to be speaking and performing in front of an audience. So that's why I'm highlighting them. And also I've personally done it. So I know it works. Celebrate small success. Now, celebrating small successes is vital for maintaining motivation and fostering a positive mindset in language learning. Acknowledging improvements such as mastering new vocabulary or engaging in conversation reinforces a learner's confidence and commitment. So I will reach over to research again. Shows that positive reinforcement increases the likelihood of behavior repetition. So you've been reinforced for something, right? Your brain likes that. You, of course, are now going to repeat the behavior that generated the positive reinforcement. And if you're a pet owner, you have to look no further than the pet to realize that's true. So celebrating achievements can lead to more consistent practice. Anecdotal evidence from language learners, like myself, highlights how sharing milestones or success points with their peers fosters a supportive community. It enhances overall learning experiences, and setting short-term goals can help learners identify and celebrate small victories, making the journey more enjoyable and less overwhelming. So in this section, we're going to highlight some transformative experience. Very small, right? Because I don't want to take too much time in the lesson, but we want to illustrate the journey toward gaining confidence in English speaking, reinforcing what we're trying to do here. So motivational, I'm going to show motivational slide in a moment. This will feature an inspiring quote, right, to encourage individuals to confront their fears. Transformative experience, right? And actually, I'm going to share mine with you. Let's do that instead. So here, the problem highlights the common struggle of non-native speakers with confidence. Now, this is crucial in understanding the challenges faced in effective communication. You transition from fear to confidence. This not only emphasizes the importance of practice, because you couldn't do it without practice. I don't care what you might see advertised somewhere, that you don't have to memorize anything, you don't have to practice, you have to do nothing except, I don't know, breathe. But this will encourage you to embrace your speaking journey. Now, in my case, I wanted to learn a language, and unfortunately, in a normal academic school environment, it wasn't happening for me. All right. So what I did was I set up my own little program. I'm not telling everyone this is what works for them. Some have done very well in academic environments, right? It just wasn't working for me. So I combine a combination of some of the great training that you can find in the public sphere, like YouTube. I also started seeking out environments where I could practice after I started to build my vocabulary a little bit. And of course, I've taken advantage of books. Reading is a masterful way of increasing your vocabulary and learning. So nothing's changed with that over the centuries. Right? But also movies and podcasts. But I always made sure that I made it, I don't want to say challenging if it was difficult, but I made it so that it was enjoyable, but also a learning experience. And within a year, there was a massive transformation for me. And I went from a beginner to an advanced speaker within that time, and am now I will say hurtling, but am now on the way as I continue to work towards fluency, right, which is one of my goals, or as fluent as a non-native speaker is going to be. So the problem, the solution, and the result. There we go. Let's wrap here. Let me read this quote by Albert Schweitzer. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So the core message of this quote emphasizes that true success stems from passion and enjoyment in one's work. I enjoy learning new languages. I enjoy learning new things. I enjoy this type of work of creating these lessons, right? And that's where the confidence will come in with your speaking, right? Having some passion for it. Can you learn without the passion? Of course you can. But having a passion and enjoyment for something is a massive difference maker. Okay. So let's end here. Now, if you found this content useful, please like, uh, subscribe, share the video, and use the notification bell, right? So you'll know when our content is coming out. So thank you for your time and attention, and see you next time as we continue our linguistic adventure together.